Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss another problem, but before going forward, if you have not liked the video, please like it. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So without any further ado, let's get started. Problem is score of parentheses. Let's see what the problem is. We are given a balanced parenthesis string. We need to return the score of that string. The score of a balanced parenthesis string is based on the following rule. This has a score 1, meaning one opening bracket and one closing bracket has score 1. AB has score A plus B, where A and B are balanced parenthesis strings. For example, here let's say we have something like this. We have something like this and this. So this is also balanced, this is also balanced. Single bracket has score 1. So this one will have score 1, this will have score 1. So this is A and this is B. So A, B has score what? A plus B, where A and B are balanced parenthesis strings. So this A is also balanced, B is also balanced. So score for AB will be A plus B. That is A score was 1 and B score was 1. So 2. 2 will be score of this. And this thing like this has score 2 multiplied by A, where A is the balanced parenthesis string. For example, let's say we have something like this. So this is balanced. This will be your A. So something like this is there, right? This is a balanced parenthesis string. A and outer brackets are there. So for this single A, this is single opening closing. So score will be 1. So 1. So this will be 2 into A score. So 2 into A is what? 1. 1. So 2 will be score of this. Fine. So these are the conditions which are given. So see, for this will be 1. For this we discussed, it will be 2, and for this test case we discussed, it will be again 2. So I hope you understood the problem. Let's see how we can approach this problem. So see, basically what we need to do is see, whenever we are getting opening bracket, right, it means that we are going into, we are have we when we are when we have an opening bracket, right, there could be two cases. Either there could be again opening bracket here, something like this could be there, or if we have opening bracket, there could be a closing bracket, something like this. So there could be two cases. So when we are getting an opening bracket, we'll have to do something, and when we are getting a closing bracket, then we'll have to do something. For example, let's take this part. So let's do one thing first. Let's discuss what will be the output for this string. What will be the output for this string? So for this, what will be the output? Here, first of all, this single bracket is 1 and this inner one is also 1. Now because of this outer, it is something like this, right? 1. So it will be 2 into 1, 2. That meaning this whole from here from here, let me change the color. That is from here till here, this part will have score 2. So now this 1 and 2, these are like this, right? A and B. So it will be 1 plus 2, 3. So this inner part has what? Score 3. And then these are their outer brackets. These. So this is again something like A. A is balanced. So this is a balanced string, right? Inside one. So what will be the score of this? 2 into A. That is 2 into A is what? 3. So the output for this will be 6. Fine. Now let's discuss how we can get 6. Some idea you might be getting that what we can do is, so this is a string, right? So see, basically what we have to do, See, opening just means that there could be different cases, that either there could be nested brackets, like something like this. There could be nested brackets, or there could be a closing bracket just after the opening bracket. These two cases could be there. When there is closing bracket, then we need to calculate the score. We need to calculate the score depending on what was inside here. What was inside here? So let's say here it was something like this. So when we are closing, this will depend what was inside here. So we need to store somehow this score which was inside this here between these outer brackets. What was the score of the internal brackets, if there are any? If it is like this, so then there is 0 here, no internal bracket score. Then for this only 1 will be there score. But if there is something like this, and we are calculating for this bracket, then there will be some internal score of this, that is 1 plus 1, 2. So it will be something like this. So when we are at here at closing bracket, we need to take into account this score. So it will be 2 multiplied by 2, 4. Fine. So let's do one thing. Let's dry run using the code, and side by side you will better understand. We will dry run so that you better understand the approach. Let me just erase this. So just follow the dry run and try to understand what basically we are doing in this problem. After this, we will be discussing another approach which is more optimized than this approach. So see, what we are doing is we are taking a stack. You'll understand why we are taking a stack. The reason for using a stack is because, let's say we are calculating for this outer bracket. So stack will be storing the result of the inner brackets. That is the score of inner brackets. That for that we have to have a stack to store the previous values. Fine. So let's discuss this approach. So what we are doing is we are starting. We have taken a variable score initially as 0. So let me take a variable score, and I've taken initially it as 0. Then we are iterating in this string. If the string element is an opening bracket, so here initially we'll start from here. So we get an opening bracket. What we will do, we will push the score in the stack. So score 0 will be pushed in the stack. This 0 indicates that there is right now no internal, you can say internal brackets. Right now no internal brackets. For example, here there is this internal bracket now between these outer brackets. For as of now there is no internal bracket. And then else, so first again we will go here. Again this is an opening bracket. So stack score will be pushed. Score will become 0 here. Fine. Now we'll go here. Now it is a closing bracket. So it will go in else. So score will get updated. What will score become? Score will be equal to, see now here this is a closing bracket and there is no internal brackets here. No internal brackets between this and this. So what we will do, this 0 represents the score of the internal brackets here. So since there are no internal brackets here, score is 0. We will take the score 0 plus max of, so see guys, if there is internal any score, let's say here there was score 2. So this whole thing score will be what? 2 multiplied by this internal score A. So max 2 into score, or it could be if there is no internal brackets, like here there were no internal brackets. This was only there. So for this, what will be the score? So for an opening closing, this is 1. So 1. Either it could be 2 multiplied by score, comma max. So whatever maximum value between these two, that we will take. Here score is 0. Score is 0. So this will be 0 plus max of 2 into 0 will be 0 comma 1. So this will be 0 plus 1 1. That is, this bracket score is just 1, which is correct. And opening closing bracket score is 1. So as of now we are doing correctly. Fine. Now let's move forward. And we will pop from the stack. So now this is not the internal bracket score. This we will pop. Now let's move forward. So here now we will go here. Now there is its opening bracket. And score is updated, right? Score is updated to 1 because score here is 1 now. So let me raise this. Fine. Now this is opening bracket, right? Opening bracket. So we will push the score to stack. So 1 will be pushed. Fine. 1 will be pushed, which is the score of this. And score we will make it 0 because the new bracket has started. So score we will make as 0. Now we'll go ahead. Opening again. So when again is opening, we will push the score in the stack and we will update score to be 0. So now score is 0. Fine. Now we'll go here. Closing bracket. So 0 plus max 2 into score is what? 0. 0 comma 1. Same thing. So 1 will be there. 1 is the score of this thing. Fine. So we will pop this 0 from the stack. And now we'll go here. So now here closing bracket is there. Fine. So what we will do again? Stack top, that is 1 plus 2 multiplied by, here max will be there, 2 multiplied by score. Score is what? 1 comma 1. So here why we have taken 1 here? Stack top is 1. 1 plus max of 2 comma 1. So this will be max of 2 comma 1 will 2 plus 1 3. So this here it will come out to be 3. What is this 3? This thing. Oh, sorry, not this thing. Fine. So this is coming out to be 3, which is this thing. 2 for this, 1 for this. 2 plus 1, 3. Now again we are at the last closing bracket. So what will be the score? Score will be stack top. Fine, stack top. So what is stack top? Stack top is this will be popped in this step. So stack top will be 0. 0 plus max of 2 comma 2 multiplied by score. Score is what? Score is here 3 comma 1. So here it will come out to be 6. Fine. So what we are doing basically is, whenever we get an opening bracket, we push the current score in the stack and we initialize the score again, and else when we are getting closing bracket, we find out the this will be the, if there is any inner brackets, and this will be for that current bracket, for the current bracket whatever it is. I hope you understood this approach. Time complexity for this approach is O of n, and space is also O of n because we are using a stack. Fine. This is the same code which we have discussed here. So I hope you understood this approach. Now the second approach is constant space, and it is, to be honest, like I thought that approach to be more intuitive than this approach. So let's discuss that approach also. Let me run this approach first. So if we submit this is getting accepted, and let's discuss the second approach, what it could be. So see, the test case which we are taking is this one. Fine. So here guys, see what could be there over here. Like when we are at this inner bracket, When we are here at this inner bracket, whatever will be the depth outs, what will be the depth inside till here, from the outer bracket, from like from here to the innermost, see, bracket innermost bracket. Let me take another example. So let's say we have something like this: 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So see, this is the innermost bracket. So for this, 1 will be there, score, and how many times 2 will be multiplied? 2 is multiplied by the inner score, right? A. So this will be A. So let's say if this A is, how many times basically we will multiply this 2. So for this, see, for this 2 into 1. Then for this 2 into this, 2 into 1. For this it will be 2 into this thing, 2 into 2 into 1. Fine. And for the end one, it will be 2 into this, 2 into this thing, 2 into 2 into 1. Fine. That means how many times this 2 will be multiplied? It will be multiplied 2 raised to power 4 times. 1 2 3 4. And what is 4 here? 4 is the depth of the innermost bracket. Innermost bracket. See, 1 2 3 and 4. 4 depth is there, na? That means what is depth here? What I am saying is depth. Depth meaning number of opening brackets. 1 2 3 4. This we will not include. This one we will not include because this is 1. The rest which are outside this one, 1 2 3 4, that is the depth. So 2 raised to power 4 will be the score of this whole thing. So my motive of explaining this is because what we will be doing is we will be calculating the depth, and based on that we will be calculating the score. So I hope you understood this thing. Let's discuss, let's dry run so that you can better understand. Because see guys, the basically we can understand these problems only if we dry run. Fine. If we are not dry running and we are just thinking in mind, then that way it can be clear, but according to me you should dry run. So just a second, let me paste the code. So see, what is here we are doing, what we are doing is we are having initially depth. We have taken a variable depth as 0, and rest is the score which we will return at the end. Fine. Previous we are taking, because see, this innermost bracket, if we are at the closing bracket, how we will know this is the innermost bracket? Just think, how we will know that this is the innermost bracket? Because we will know it when, if we are at closing, the previous bracket is opening, then this will be the innermost bracket. For example, if this we have to check, here we are at the closing, but previous was another closing, so this means that this is not the innermost bracket, this is the innermost bracket. Fine. So what we will do, rest is equal to 0, previous we are taking so that we can check if this is the innermost bracket or not. For innermost bracket, this, when we are at the closing bracket, the previous one will be the opening bracket, then that will be the innermost bracket. Then we are going to each here, just let me erase this. We are going to each element in the string. So rest is 0. First of all, we are here, so here this is opening. So we have got one opening, we will increase the depth because we are going one bracket inside, right? We are going one bracket inside, so we are increasing the depth. Then again we get opening bracket, depth increase. Fine. Now we are getting a closing bracket. So this is a closing bracket. So we are getting a L. We will go in else. Here we will do depth minus minus, because if we remember here, when there was the earlier case which we saw, in that all the opening brackets were 5, depth was 4, right? Depth was 4 because we were not taking the innermost brackets opening bracket, that we were not considering. So that's why if opening, because this depth depends on the opening bracket na. So if opening is 5, depth will be 4. So that's why we are decreasing depth 1. And if you did not understood this part, just go to that part and watch again. So depth we are decreasing by 1, and if previous is opening bracket, so here previous is opening bracket, every time we will update the previous, right? Here previous is the opening bracket, meaning this was the innermost bracket. So just calculate the 2 raised to power the depth. So rest will be 0 plus 2 raised to power depth. Depth will increase decrement here by 1, so depth will become 1. 2 raised to power 1, this is 2. So it will be 2. Then we'll go ahead. We get an opening bracket, depth will increase by 1. Then again we get an opening bracket, depth will increase by 1. Then we get a closing bracket. First decrease the depth minus minus, and then find the check previous if previous was equal to opening or not. Here see, whenever we go to this brackets now, we will be updating previous. I forgot to update it, but when we will go to the next one, so we are storing the previous, the character in the previous, right? So here when we are at the closing, previous is opening, right? This one. So meaning this is the innermost bracket. So calculate the rest. So rest will be 2 plus 2 was the previous value plus 2 raised to power the depth, which is 2. So this will be 2 plus 4, 6. Fine. Now we'll go here. Closing bracket, depth will decrease by 1. But here previous will now be closing bracket. This correct, this one. Fine. So here we got a closing bracket, depth we decreased by 1. But here previous was not opening, so we will not do this thing. We'll go ahead. And closing we will update. Now this is also closing. Depth we will decrease 0. But previous was not opening, it's closing only. This is closing only. So we will not update rest, and we will come out of the loop, and rest will be 6. So this is the approach, but you might be having some confusion then that how this is giving us the correct answer. See, this depth thing, so I think you might have understood. The doubt where you might be getting that how we are adding this result and this result, right? So see, whatever will be inside this will get multiplied, right? So whatever this is, let me draw here. I hope this you are clear how we are getting this part using this thing. Let's say this is B and this is A. So, and this here we have to multiply by whatever this is, we have to multiply that with 2, right? So 2 into whatever this C. But what is this C? C is A plus B. So we can write it as 2 multiplied by A plus 2 multiplied by B. That's what we are doing here. That is what we are doing here. So just dry run once. You will understand basically here what we did first for this and this. 2 multiplied by this one. 2 multiply this 2 multiplied by A. A was what? A is what? This one. 2 multiplied by 1. 1 plus here what we did? 2 multiplied by what was B? What was this? This was 2 only. B is what? 2. So 2. So this is what we are doing actually here. We are expanding this because it's the same thing, right? If we calculate this first or we separate it like 2 into A, 2 into B. I hope this video was helpful. Time complexity for this is O of n and space complexity is O of 1. Video is quite bit lengthy, but I hope you understood the concept, and if you found the video helpful, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.